Welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today as we present our webinar, Career Research 101. I do want to mention that if you have questions, please enter them into the Q&A. The chat is not active right now, so please enter them into the Q&A. We'll go ahead and get started. Again, thank you for taking the time to view our presentation today. Hopefully we'll give you some good information on how to research a career. But let's start with, it's important to realize that there's a difference between a job and a career. So a job is work you perform to earn money to support your essential needs. You could spend decades working a job in the same department in one organization, or you could work many seemingly unrelated jobs over your lifetime, perhaps with one organization or with a variety of different organizations. But a career, that's the path you embark upon to fulfill your professional goals and ambitions. Every job you hold along the way teaches you skills and gives you experiences that you take with you no matter what career path you choose. Keep in mind that it's important to be able to describe how different jobs in your work history have contributed to making you a great candidate in your career area. To read more information about the job versus career information, just go to Indeed.com and search that. What's the difference between a job and a career? Researching something means gathering information. Then you take the information you discover and you read about it and talk to knowledgeable people about it. Now, ONET Online is a great resource for career information. This slide shows some of the links you can access on the ONET site to research a wide variety of career areas and topics related to them. So there's a lot on this site. ONET is a career research site that contains a set of self-directed career exploration and assessment tools designed to help individuals discover the type of work activities and occupations that they might find exciting. The exploration and assessment tools can help the individual consider and plan for career options and help them transition into their chosen career more effectively. These tools can help individuals identify their work-related interests and what they consider important on the job, so they can explore occupations that relate most closely to their interests, skills, education, and experience. And the assessment instruments are grouped into two major families: interest profiler and work importance locator. And I'm going to jump over to the site. So here's the ONET online site. It's, again, very, very comprehensive. But just to get started with your interests and that type of thing, look at the interest profiler, the ONET interest profiler. Just type it in the search and it will take you to an area where you will answer some questions basically and get a little more information on how you might like to see your career go. ONET Online is, again, very comprehensive. It contains information that's actually extracted from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and we're going to visit that in a moment. But keep in mind, your research can become very in-depth. Remember, though, that this is exploration. It's not finding the guaranteed answer to what your career will be. So don't get stuck on just one or two positions. Jobs, and therefore careers, can change quickly. So focus on the variety of positions in your area of interest when planning for the next step in your career. The My Next Move tool on the ONET site that you see on this slide offers more ways to learn about careers that match your interests. And remember, if you have found a career area you're interested in today, you will want to stay tuned into it to keep up with how it's going to look in a year or 2 years or even 4 years. This is one of the reasons it's good to be working in your chosen field as soon as you can, instead of waiting until you complete your education, if at all possible. We cannot embrace changes in a field unless we know what changes are happening. And ONET Online is a great place to assist you in following what's happening in your area of interest. Next, I want to mention the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. And this site is also full of tools and information that you can go into and look up different anything from what the job titles are to different wages in different locations and that type of thing. So let's take a look at that. And here is the site again, data tools, lots of things to look at for as far as job titles and um, pay and that kind of thing. They're both really, really comprehensive sites, very, very full of information. I actually like to use both of them when researching, but you just need to give them each a try and decide which one works best for you when looking for either information about the career or looking for job availability and that type of thing in your area. So there are a myriad of tools available at bls.gov that can provide you with that information on things like the education needed or median pay for entry-level work, as in this example. To get a real picture of what the pay and outlook for your chosen career is in your area, you can look at the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Here, you can dig into information about the current and future likelihood of availability of jobs in your chosen career, as well as getting an estimate of what entry level pay might look like, and also pay estimates related to already having educational background in your career area or having related experience in the field. The link on this slide will take you to a place where you can look up wages for various jobs nationally or by state or by region. But for the best local information, look for the MSA or Metropolitan Statistical Area nearest to where you live. It provides an overview of BLS wage data by area and occupation. And to find that, look for um, the state that you live in. Click on that M. I clicked the M because I'm in Minnesota, and I looked at the Mankato, North Mankato, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Bloomington MSAs. But again, you can go into your state, or this can also be especially helpful if you're going to be relocating. You could go to the state you're planning to move to and look at the metropolitan statistical areas that you might be near. Hmm. Using accounting as an example, I chose the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Bloomington MSA, and then located the major occupational groups and found the link that accounting would be classified in, which is the business and financial operations occupations as shown here. Again, remember, if you are coming up with questions along the way, please enter them in the Q&A, and we will get to as many of them as we can at the end of the presentation. So This is where you can become acquainted with the many different job titles in a major occupational group. What you're seeing here is just some of the occupation titles that fall under business and financial operations occupations. Remember, the wages are not carved in stone. They can vary depending on geographical location and also the type of organization you may end up in, but they're trying to give you a good idea of what you might be looking at in a specific career field. You can literally get lost in the BLS.gov site, but it is one of the best places for learning about jobs related to a career field, again, nationally, regionally, and locally. I want to mention one more site that you should not only use to research, but use to build your professional network and continue to learn about the career you're interested in. And that site is LinkedIn. Do you have a LinkedIn profile? Many people have created a LinkedIn profile and have never touched it again. And that's why their profile is really not working for them at all. To make your profile useful, you need to keep it active by following people, connecting with people, following companies related to your career interests. Um, Connect with like-minded professionals and find out what organizations they might belong to that might help you succeed in your career. LinkedIn is a great place to connect with current and former coworkers and managers. And this is important because you may want to use these connections as professional references someday. And there's really no excuse for losing track of people anymore when we have a tool that is designed specifically for keeping in touch with business contacts. This is a very professional site, and there's, again, a lot of information in here. You might even want to reach out to a like-minded professional and see if they would be willing to do an informational interview with you to learn more about the career you're interested in and maybe how they got started. And they may have ideas for you for other places to go to research. And they also might be able to introduce you to someone who's hiring for the career you're interested in. So I recommend searching for employers you're interested in and following them on LinkedIn. Many employers post job openings on LinkedIn, and it's a great way to gain insight on the types of positions a company is hiring for. And the same goes for joining those professional organizations related to your career. And I invite you to join our Rasmussen University alumni group to stay aware of any events or news happening at Rasmussen University. Career research is an important part of determining your future. Only you can make job and career choices for yourself based on your interests, your location, job availability, and the rates of pay in your location. And one and done isn't the reality in this day and age. A career consists of taking steps. And I hope this presentation has been informative about important tools available to keep your career plans on track and to help you take your next step. And that concludes the presentation. However, we're going to take a look and see if we had any questions come in. And also, I want to mention to be watching for a follow-up email that will have some complimentary materials that go along with this presentation. And we'll also remind you of where you can access other career-related materials. And here's the Rasmussen University Career Services link. We welcome you to follow us on Facebook and stay connected as well. So, do we have any questions that we can take?